The Imperial Knight Lancer is a Cerastus class war machine. It embodies the ideals of speed, aggression and close range combat. It is a highly prized asset of knight houses, ridden by impulsive noble scions who seek glory in battle. With its ion gauntlet shield generator and shock lance, the Lancer can deflect attacks while waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Its unparalleled speed and power make it a fearsome opponent on the battlefield, engaging in ground-shaking duels with rival champions. The Knight Lancer is a rare and cherished pattern of Imperial Knight, revered for its role as a first strike weapon and its ability to deliver devastating flanking charges against enemies. The Lancer's bond with its pilot is crucial, as only those with a temperament that matches the fiery spirit of the war machine can achieve legendary status within their knight house. The Lancer's armament is carefully selected to suit its role on the battlefield. The Knight Lancer's primary defensive measure is its ion gauntlet shield generator, a powerful device capable of turning aside incoming attacks. This shield provides protection while the Lancer patiently waits for the perfect moment to strike. When that moment arrives, the motor of its shock lance activates, filling the air with the whirring sound of energy building up. The lance is a formidable weapon, unleashing bolts of electrostatic power and piercing through armour with its glowing spearhead. The Lancer's objective is to engage in close quarters combat, using its shield and lance to overpower and defeat titanic adversaries. Among the Cerastus class knights, the Lancer stands out as a sophisticated and highly valued warsuit. Its speed and agility surpass those of the more compact Questoris armour. While the Knights of the Age of Technology were designed as protectors, the Cerastus Knights emerged during the brutal Age of Strife as conquerors, steeped in bloodshed. The Knight Lancer holds a position of great honour among its kind, revered by the impulsive noble scions who seek glory on the battlefield. Its ion gauntlet and shock lance are perfectly suited for engaging formidable foes head-on, where precise timing and skillful maneuvers can mean the difference between victory and death. When rival knight houses clash in combat, the Lancers charge forward, engaging rival champions in awe-inspiring single combat, shaking the ground beneath them. The Cerastus Knight Lancer is a relatively rare pattern of Imperial Knight class combat walker, but it is also the most prized and highly sought after variant utilised by the knight houses during the era of the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. The Imperial Knight Lancer excels as a first strike weapon, employing rapid close combat assault tactics and devastating flanking charges against the enemy. It is renowned for its exceptional speed, power, and the restless nature of its machine spirit, the artificial intelligence that dwells within its colossal frame. Due to its reputation, only the most impulsive and glory-hungry scions of the knight houses are driven to bond with these war machines. These individuals possess souls that match the fury contained within their mounts. The most exceptional pairings between knight and pilot go on to create legendary tales that echo throughout their lineage. However, for those whose temperament cannot fully control the fiery spirit of their knight armour, or whose desire for glory outweighs caution on the battlefield, Their triumphs are likely to burn brightly but fleetingly within the chronicles of their houses. In terms of weaponry, the Knight Lancer typically carries a combination of the Ion Gauntlet shield generator and the Shock Lance. These weapons are specifically chosen to maximise the Lancer's effectiveness in close quarters combat, where its speed and skill can be brought to bear against formidable adversaries. The Lancer's loadout is intentionally designed to excel in swift, brutal engagements that leave the enemy little time to react or counter-attack. The Cerastus Shock Lance is a monumental power weapon reserved exclusively for the Cerastus Knight Lancer. Its magneto-hydraulic powered rail system grants the lance tremendous striking force, ensuring its effectiveness against heavily fortified targets. Teamed with the Ion Gauntlet shield and the ability to project a disruptive electromagnetic plasma blast, the Shock Lance exemplifies the versatility and power of the Cerastus Knight Lancer, making it a formidable force on the battlefield. The Cerastus Shock Lance is an imposing power weapon, exclusively utilised by the combat walkers of the Questor Imperialis, the Imperial Knights, as well as the Renegade Knights of the Questor Traitoris. This formidable weapon is specifically employed by the Cerastus Knight Lancer, showcasing its uniqueness and specialisation. Mounted on the Knight's weapon arm, the Shock Lance bears similarities to a power spear, albeit on a grandiose scale. Its immense size grants it an intimidating presence on the battlefield, instilling fear in the hearts of adversaries. The Shock Lance relies on a sophisticated magneto-hydraulic powered rail system. This mechanism allows the lance to be propelled backward and thrust forward with tremendous force, enabling devastating attacks against enemy targets. The lancer's design ensures that it possesses both the strength and precision necessary to pierce through formidable armour and defences. The Cerastus Shock Lance operates in tandem with the Lancer's Ion Gauntlet shield, serving as a complementary defensive and offensive pairing. As the Knight closes in on its adversaries, the Ion Gauntlet shield acts as a protective barrier, warding off incoming attacks. Simultaneously, the Knight prepares to deliver a lethal blow using the Shock Lance. This combination of defense and offense exemplifies the strategic prowess of the Lancer, ensuring its survivability while maximizing its devastating potential. Remarkably, the Shock Lance possesses an additional capability, a disruption field. This disruptive energy can be projected as a powerful electromagnetic plasma blast, capable of reaching a considerable distance. This feature empowers the Knight to engage opponents who might otherwise pose a significant threat in close combat. By utilising the disruption field, the Lancer can neutralise or weaken an adversary before delivering a decisive strike with its formidable Shock Lance. The Ion Gauntlet shield represents a specialised defensive asset exclusive to the Cerastus Knight Lancer. Its unique integration into the gauntlet assembly and concentrated energy projection distinguishes it from other ion shields. By providing enhanced defensive capabilities, the shield enables the Knight Lancer to withstand enemy assaults while closing the distance to engage in deadly close combat with its formidable Cerastus Shock Lance. The Ion Gauntlet shield serves as a specialised type of defensive equipment employed by the combat walkers of the Questor Imperialis, the Imperial Knights, as well as the Renegade Knights of the Questor Traitoris. However, its presence is exclusive to the formidable Cerastus Knight Lancer, further highlighting its distinctive nature. In functionality, the Ion Gauntlet shield shares similarities with the more common Ion shields found on other knight armour types. However, there is a significant difference in its deployment. While traditional Ion shields project from the knight's torso, directing defensive energy towards incoming enemy fire, the Ion Gauntlet shield takes a unique approach. It manifests within a colossal shield-shaped projector that is integrated into the gauntlet assembly of the Knight Lancer. This configuration allows the Ion Gauntlet shield to generate a significantly concentrated defensive energy barrier, surpassing the capabilities of standard Ion shields in terms of raw power. Although it may lack the tactical flexibility of its counterparts, this shield configuration is optimized for the Knight Lancer's role on the battlefield. The Ion Gauntlet shield's purpose is twofold. Firstly, it serves as a vital defensive measure, safeguarding the Knight Lancer from incoming attacks as it closes in on the enemy. This protection ensures that the Knight Lancer can maneuver and engage in close combat without being easily overwhelmed by enemy fire. Secondly, the Ion Gauntlet shield works in conjunction with the Knight Lancer's primary offensive weapon, the Cerastus Shock Lance. As the Knight Lancer advances towards its adversaries, the shield effectively deflects and absorbs enemy fire, allowing the Knight to approach unscathed. This defensive capability provides a critical window of opportunity for the Knight Lancer to unleash devastating blows with its powered lance, aiming to deliver a killing strike to its target.